Loans, credit cards, and applying for jobs are all things that are associated with credit. Growing up, we are not told about how important a good credit score is, but credit is something that dictates the rest of our life, depending on if we can buy a house, a car, or even get a good job. I started establishing credit before I was even 18 with the help of my parents. They made me an authorized user on their credit card, which allowed me to start establishing credit. And then the day that I turned 18, I made sure to go get my own credit card so that I can start establishing credit for myself. Even better. It is important to establish credit. It is especially important to establish credit because it shows you how you handled past debt. It allows people to receive cheaper housing opportunities, and it even helps you obtain a credit card with cheaper rates and better incentives. Let us start with how credit shows you how you handled past debt. So when talking about credit, something that's often referred to is a credit score. A credit score is basically, when it comes down to it, is just how good you can pay off your debt. So there are two major things that determine your credit score, and that is your payment history and how much money you owe. So that makes up 65% of your credit score. And based on this information, paying off debt is how you can increase your credit score. So when you pay off your debt, that will help increase your credit score by a lot better. And some other factors that hurt your credit score and maybe help it would be the length of your credit history, opening a new credit card, and even closing out old credit cards can hurt your credit score. Now that we discussed credit scores, let us talk about how we can use it to save money. So, one big factor that credit can help with is buying a house. So when buying a house, no one's gonna have enough money to buy the house straight up unless you're insanely rich. And in reality, that's just not the case. So when you go to buy a house, you need to go get a loan from the bank. When you get a loan from the bank, the main thing that they're going to look at is your credit score to see if you can pay back the loan. So when you're going to get a conventional loan, you need to have a credit score of 620 or higher at most so lenders to even approve your loan. So when you go to get the loan, the interest rate will be even lower for the better credit score that you have. And the higher credit score means that you have a history of paying off this debt. So you want to make sure that you pay off all your debt so you can have the best credit score possible so you can get the cheaper loans with the cheaper interest rates. Finally, let's talk about obtaining credit cards with the best possible rates. So there are some different ways that you can get different credit cards that you can obtain, and they all are based on your credit score once again. So when you go to apply for a credit card, how good your credit score is how good of the credit card you're going to be able to obtain. So different credit cards have different rates and different incentives based along with them. So when you go to get a credit card, when I got my first credit card, it wasn't the best. I don't have as much of a limit, and the interest rate is insanely high. The interest rate on most credit cards are going to be really high no matter what. And that's not really something you can avoid. The better your credit score, the better it's going to be. The more history you have of paying off your debt, the better your interest rate is going to be. But the main thing is the incentives. So there's something called cash back. And with cash back means every dollar that you pay, there is some money that you can receive back. So if I spend like $5, I might get like 20 cents back just for spending $5 and paying that off, which that's just free money that you can use however you wish. So the better your credit score, the better deals you can get, and the more money you can start receiving. So now that we know why credit is important and what credit even is, we can talk about how it's an important aspect of everyone's life. It's best to start establishing good credit score as early as possible because this can ensure that you can receive cheaper loans from banks and even start earning some rewards from your everyday payments. So make sure you get a credit card, you pay off all of your debt, and you start earning some free money from just buying some groceries.